I think it's helpful to backtrack a little bit and start with some of the history of how we got to where we are in the
Mhm.
global health architecture. If you look at the initial impetus behind PEPFAR and its creation, as early as like 2007, 2008, there was actually text that has been codified into law. In that provision, it states that compact agreements and planning for benchmarks for partner countries should be included in the 5-year strategy for PEPFAR.
Mhm.
So we can see already at the beginning of PEPFAR's creation, conversations are happening about how do we transition this program and the great work that it's doing onto those partner countries. Simultaneously, while you have this debate happening about how do we transition these programs over to partner country self-reliance, you have some really effective and great programs that are doing good work in the global health space, but are incredibly siloed.
So it's interesting that you bring up silos. I've seen that in the work that APT does as well. These silos, I think, really came in place because these individual programs all had their own funding streams, and they were doing what was the really important work of tracking against that funding stream
Mhm.
for PEPFAR or for PMI or for TB or whatever else it might be. But it does cause issues for the health system at large. You end up
Mhm.
having a system for HIV, a system for malaria, and the work that APT has done in working with health systems has really seen the need to integrate those so that resources can be applied to the part of the problem that exists, and you can have
Right.
one integrated system, not parallel systems for each
Mhm.
disease area. Is there any need to update any of the legislation or policies that govern these programs in order to break down those silos, or are you see that happening already with the action the administration is taking?
Absolutely. I think there's a huge need for that. There are some questions that I think Congress is able to speak to. And, the programs are originally codified by Congress, are funded by Congress each fiscal year. And so there is a huge need for Congress to be weighing in and saying, this is how we want the implementation plans to be guided, or this is how we want the strategy to be executed.